Tony Robbins, was he right or wrong? Now, I'll elaborate more on this. So, I love listening to Tony Robbins on Audible. I have his Unleash the Power Within. And one of the little stories he tells in that is about law of attraction manifesting. And he tells a story of a gardener or somebody with a garden. I think it's in his bit where he says you should all over yourself, or shoulda, coulda, something like that anyway. But he specifically says if your garden is really overgrown with weeds, you can stand there and say, oh, I wish that it was gone. I wish that it was all gone, and manifest it, law of attraction, whatever. Stand there and say, but it's never going to be gone because you need to do the work. However, kind of the spin on that is there's always a plan. So let me elaborate from my point of view on this one. So last week, I had my pop-up stall for my holistic self-care kit company at the North Norwich University Hospital. And as I arrived, somebody else pulled up and unloaded their car with some stand stall. And I was like, they've got it mixed up. They're not meant to be here. As it turns out, apparently she thought she was meant to be there. And there was a bit of a hoo-ha over it. But eventually the people from the charity came down and said, look, both of you can set up for today. Now, at first, I was very much, I'm not going to get any sales. Everything's going to go wrong because she's there and she's got this beautiful jewellery and I've just got holistic self-care kits. So we set up anyway, and she did get lots of sales because where she'd put her stand, everybody saw as they came into the restaurant opening, and I was kind of tucked back. And I think I made one sale for £6. Now, I could have been like really, oh my God, end of the world, I've not made any sales. But as it happened, she came over and spoke to me, the other lady that owned the stall, and she was absolutely lovely. And she gave me some recommendations for two businesses. One was the Jade Tree in Norwich, and one was For the Love of Norfolk. Now, she gave me these details. I could have gone away and done nothing with them. But as it turns out, I went and saw the Jade Tree, and they are looking at possibly being an affiliate and selling on my little velvet bag sets, which I've mentioned before. But the massive thing was that I went and saw For the Love of Norfolk on Norwich Market, and she makes candles and wax melts. Now, I had to look at her website and thought, wax melts, not really. There wasn't any shapes or sizes. They were just what you'd call like brittle. So like peanut brittle, broken pieces off. But I went and had a chat with her anyway, and I explained what I do, that I make holistic self-care kits for families, and I want to get rid of the little tea light candles because they're not really family or pet friendly, and I want to go over to wax melts. And she makes wax melts and they're all Norfolk based. So I was like, right, okay, this can work. So we were chatting away, and I said 20% of all my sales goes to the charities, Norfolk and Norwich, Halswood Animal. And I do a lot for the autism in the forum. So she said she would do some brittles for me, and I was like, great, how much? And she's like, free. And I was like, can't do it for free. And she said, I'll put them in my little bags, 2 bits per kit. I'll put them in my little bags with my little sticker on and my card, so that everybody that purchases a kit from you will see the wax melts and they'll know they're from me. So it is basically free advertising for me. And also, once they've used the wax melt and they loved it, they can go back to her and purchase more. So I thought, do you know what? Yeah, absolutely. That's an amazing idea. And now For the Love of Norfolk is supplying our wax melts for our kits. So I could have been very much law of attraction, or it's going to be a bad day. And at first I did have that kind of like, but actually from not getting any sales, but carrying on, going for the day, I not only found somewhere better to go next time that would be more traffic footfall for me, but also I came away with 2 amazing opportunities for one, selling my products, and one, supplying me with wax melts for my kits so that we can move over and migrate from the tea light candles to the wax melts. Now, the same with the garden. You might not waking up in the morning and all of a sudden your garden's transformed into a paradise, but you may bump into someone that says, oh, I've just hired a gardener and they're really good. Do you want their details? Or you may be chatting to someone in a queue in a supermarket, and it turns out they're a gardener and they've got an opening for, taking on new customers. So do you believe in the law of attraction or not? I certainly do. I use it all the time. I may have my old blip days, but Had I given up and not set up and just walked away and thought, oh God, someone else is setting up, it's not going to be a good day for me, I'm not going to get any sales. Granted, I only got one sale, but I did get 2 amazing opportunities. And for me, that is my law of attraction, my manifestation. I love manifesting. And I think, yes, Tony Robbins is right in some ways, but also a little bit wrong. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and I would love to hear some stories about your manifesting law of attraction, your stories. So pop them in the comments.